A very warm welcome to all our guests joining from all around the world. Hi, Dr. Vinod Kumar from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, SIBM-Pune, India, and Dr. Anabel Gutierrez from University of London feel honored and privileged to moderate the second seminar in third edition of seminar series on the digital future for business and society, an emerging perspective on the metaverse. This seminar series is hosted jointly by Professor Yogesh Kumar Dwivedi, who is Professor of Digital Marketing and Innovations and Founding Director of Digital Future for Sustainable Business and Society Research Group at School of Management, Swansea University, Wales, UK. He is also leading International Journal of Information Management as Editor-in-Chief, which is a top journal in IT field. He is also associate editor of prestigious journals Government Information Quarterly, European Journal of Marketing, and International Journal of Electronic Government Research. He is also a member of executive group Information Systems Frontiers Journal and senior editor of Journal of Electronic Commerce Research. He has 49,700 plus citation on Google Scholar and soon will be reaching 50K mark. That's tremendous stuff. Next, we have Professor Laurie Hughes. He is Senior Lecturer within Strategic Operation Group and founding member of Digital Future for Sustainable Business and Society Research Group at School of Management, Swansea University, Wales, UK. He has 15 plus years of management experience where he worked on numerous projects in finance, manufacturing, operations, and business transformation within public, private, and defense organizations prior to completing his PhD. He is widely cited researcher who has published a range of research publications within leading academic journals on contemporary areas in IT and marketing. And we also have Professor Raman. He is currently Director, Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune, Dean, Faculty of Management, Symbiosis International Deemed University, Director, Strategy and Development, Symbiosis. So due to some urgent professional commitment, Dr. Raman is not able to make it for the session today. Now, I would like to invite Professor Yogesh Kumar Dwivedi for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Vinod. Given the time is very little, I just want to say thank you to Carlos and apology, Carlos, for the confusion about the link. I just would like to welcome you and pass you the floor for your sharing your thoughts and your insights. Thank you so much.
Excellent. So it's my absolutely pleasure
and
to
Vinod,
be involved.
Sorry, Carlos. Vinod, would you like to give some intro?
Yeah. I'll definitely give an intro here.
Thank you.
Sorry, excuse me for a minute, Professor Carlos. Thank you, Professor Yogesh Kumar Dwivedi. Our entire seminar series is jointly supported by Digital Marketing and Analytics SIG Academy of Marketing, Green Nobel IAE Graduate School of Management, Green Nobel INP School of the University of Green Nobel Alps, the E-Business and E-Government SIG British Academy of Management, the UK Academy for Information System UKAIS. To tell you something about this seminar series itself, emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things, and the Metaverse undoubtedly offer transformative potential for the augmentation and potential replacement of human performed tasks and activities within a wide range of industrial, intellectual, and social applications. The impact and widespread adoption of these technologies is likely to be transformational within sectors ranging from agriculture, finance, healthcare, manufacturing, retail, supply chain, logistics, and utilities. According to a research published by Professor Yogesh Dwivedi et al. 2022, the metaverse has potential to extend the capabilities and constraints of the physical world using augmented and virtual reality technologies, allowing users to seamlessly interact with real and simulated environments. The seminar series on the digital future for business and society, emerging perspective on the metaverse, will present various perspectives from a number of leading expert speakers to highlight the opportunities and challenges posed by the rapid emergence of the metaverse. The seminar series will not only offer a timely and thought-provoking insight to the metaverse, but also its impact on the future of business, management, and societal factors impacted by growth, direction, and widespread adoption of this new immersive technology. Today we have with us one such eminent thought leader, Professor Carlos Flavian from University of Zaragoza, Spain. Today, he will share his thoughts on engaging users in metaverse applications in different industries. To tell you something about our speaker, Professor Carlos Flavian is Professor of Marketing at University of Zaragoza, Spain. He is also Director of Me2Do Research Lab. He specializes in analyzing the perceptions, intentions, and actual behavior of users of 4.0 technologies such as virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and so on. He is editor-in-chief of Spanish Journal of Marketing, ESIC, and strategy editor of the Service Industries Journal. He is also ranked as top Spanish researcher in the field of business and management, and he is also founder of AIRSI, the Metaverse conference, which many of you may attend and get benefited. Without any further ado, I would like to call our speaker of the day, Professor Carlos Flavian, to take over and address our audience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir. You are completely audible.
So, first of all, I just would like to say very, very big thanks to all the organizers, especially Professor Yogesh Dwivedi for his leaderships of excellent activities like this. I'm absolutely delighted to be part of this seminar series. I just would like to go further because, well, when Yogesh suggested me to talk about this, I say, well, I can talk about this, and I have to see how I can summarize all the questions that I would like to highlight. Okay, so thank you so much to the organizer for giving me this excellent opportunity to discuss about this amazing topic. So first of all, I just would like to say a couple of words in relation to my research group, Method Research Group. We would like to say that we do not program artificial intelligence. We do not develop virtual reality or augmented reality. We are just analyzing the user's experience in relation to all those technologies. And definitely, if we can ask if it will be necessary if you do not add any kind of value because you are not developing the tools and so on. And the question definitely is yes. The answer to these questions, because definitely very big companies such as Google has mistake with the Google Glass, Amazon, Samsung, always they have mistakes in relation to this. In the method of research, we focus the attention in analyzing the perceptions, the intention, and behavioral intention and real behavior of the people in relation to the new technology, which are the benefits, costs, which are the motivators, detractors, how do we behave with these technologies. In relation to what we have done, I would like to say that we always has been we have been trying to be always in the frontier of knowledge. I would like to highlight these kind of things because, first of all, I would like to say something that could be a bit surprising, but I would like to just confess that we are always in the frontier of knowledge. Imagine we in 2000 we developed analysis of usability talking about online trust. In 2005, we developed a doctoral dissertation on this. We published this paper, which has been a highly cited paper, which has been a classic in the economy, talking about the importance that it has, the usability in web pages. And we were talking about this when nobody was addressing this topic in the 2000 year. So it has became a classic in literature because it has been between the 10 papers most cited in marketing during the next 10 years. We have been talking about social networks before the existence of Facebook. So we have to remember that Facebook was created in 2004, and nobody knows about Facebook until 2008 or something like that. We done the first dissertation in 2008. we published papers in 2005 talking about this, and definitely we were not talking about Facebook because Facebook was not existing at this time. We were talking about MySpace, High Five, which were another social networks we were before Facebook, okay? We were talking about digital press versus traditional press. We were talking about virtual teams in 2010, the influencers, the role of influencers in 2015. We have published this paper that has been one of the first papers published in the topic, has a lot of citations. In 2016, we have seen that we need to develop something new, and we refocus our approach to the Industry 4.0 technologies. Particularly by one side, we analyzed the possibilities of virtual reality and augmented reality. We pushed this paper that has a great success, and it has been between the 20 more cited papers. Also, we have been focusing the attention in the role of robots, the role of technologies for 4.0, and the role of virtual assistants. And we have a very, very interesting and successful publication on this. We also have created, as you have been highlighted before, the IFC conference, which is focused in artificial intelligence and digital transformation, virtual reality, augmented reality, robots, avatars, virtual influencers, omni-channel strategies, and these kind of things. And it has become international conference. I'm showing you some QR codes because I would like to talk about many, many different things. Perhaps there was not time enough in order to explain. If you would like to have more information, you can go to read the QR code in order to have the different information in relation to different questions. And also, this conference is a conference that since last year, we are developing on the Metaverse. So what I'm saying that because, first of all, I just would like to establish that our research group is always focusing the attention in the new technologies. And I have to say something important that, frankly, I think you all know. I have to say that the metaverse is still a theoretical concept, and the metaverse do not exist nowadays. So I just would like to highlight that we have been always in the forefront of technology, but I must confess that the metaverse concept has surpassed us. So I think it's too early to focus so much the attention in the concept of metaverse. In any case, we have to highlight that still there is a theoretical concept. It came from the Snow Crash novel from Neil Stephenson. Definitely since the old Facebook decided to change the name to Meta, they had been highlighting a growing interest in the topic. Definitely it's going to be a revolution. I believe that in spite it is not existing nowadays, I believe that the revolution of the metaverse will be equivalent to the development of internet in the 90s, to the development of the smartphones in the 20s. And definitely, I think that no one of us can live without internet. No one of us can live without any smartphone. Quite probably in some time, in some years, we will not be able to live outside the metaverse. So I think there is something that we need to study, but frankly, it doesn't exist. Nowadays, we have several ideas and concepts about the potential metaverse, but we must confess that we have still more questions to the answers we have to those all questions. Which is more important, we still don't have the technologies that we need in order to properly develop the metaverse. So when I'm talking about the metaverse, I refer to what Neil Stephenson was saying in his novel Snow Crash. Definitely working on the metaverse is going to be also an interesting experience. As we have not so much time, I have to skip the videos that I was trying to present. I think many of us has the possibility of watching these videos on different points. So let me just highlight some key points of the metaverse that it will have, the metaverse, that do not have most part all the metaverse that we are watching nowadays in the future. So the metaverse require to be interoperable. So it's a network that we can move freely from one network to another. It requires real-time rendered 3D virtual worlds, and we need to still develop these virtual worlds. We need the telepresence experience. We need to enjoy synchronously persistent and efficient and effectively different worlds in which we are going to be involved. This has to be developed in a massive scale. So because we need to allow an unlimited number of users feeling the sense of presence. When we developed the metaverse last year in IC, one of my main concerns was if many people is entering into the metaverse at the same time, so the system can collapse. So we need massive scale processing capacity. We need the continuity of data. So the identity of people involved in the metaverse, the history, the entitlements, the objects, everything that they own, the payments and so on, needs to be all the time in the metaverse. We need to develop many issues concerning the privacy and the safety in the metaverse. We need to develop more natural interfaces, avatars, cartoons, could be realistic. So this still a long way to go. So we need to improve the network wireless. We need to go to the 5G and even quite a bit more than this. We need to develop the Internet of Objects, to develop the digital twins in order to reproduce everything in the real world in the metaverse. I also would like to highlight some pending tasks that we need to develop before arriving to the metaverse. We need to improve the computational capacity around 1,000 times. The platforms that we use need to be interconnected between them. We need decentralized organizations managing all these. We need blockchains technology in order to manage the centralized organizations, the Web3, the Web 3.0, the avatars, to improve the mobile wireless network, to develop the Internet of Things, digital twins, to improve the immersive technologies. Now the quality of the information that we are receiving is quite good, but we need more realistic, more fluid images, more powerful devices. We need to reduce the size and increase the quality. So imagine, so the most traditional machine that we have is the Oculus. The Oculus from Facebook is this machine. So we need to wear the machine. We need to use with these kind of devices and so on. We need to do many things. And also, if we check all the devices, the HoloLens, so the HoloLens are for augmented reality. As quite probably many of you are very, very interested in knowing about these things and what do you have to buy. I would like to offer you this QR code where there is a lot of information about this kind of devices. But well, this costs around 4,000 euros, which is absolutely crazy. It's a lot of money. If you don't have money, what you can use is this machine. So this machine, and you can put your mobile in, okay? Let me tell you, let me confess that everything that we have published yet, it has been done with this, okay? We have bought a lot of equipment, but we have not published anything yet. And in any case, if you are very, very interested and you would like to visit us to do a research state or something like that, you will be absolutely welcome. We are having very, very hard time using this in order to develop virtual reality scenarios. And definitely we will be all welcome to all the people which will be interested in these technologies. Okay, so we need to reduce the cost, we need to improve the sensory richness. The visual and sound is very, very well developed, but the tactile stimuli, so imagine how that we have to still move in the metaverse. There are some globes. We also have both some globes in order to have the feeling of sense, and we have both also some seals in order to feel when you receive an impact of a shot, you can feel it, and so on. But there is many things to be improved. We need to improve the systems based on artificial intelligence as well. Okay, so we need to improve the computational capacity 1,000 times. Apparently, this is so much, okay? But to tell you the truth, is not so much, okay? So the Apollo computers were absolutely amazing, massive machines. What we can say is that my telephone has a microchip which is more powerful than this machine in 14 years ago. Focusing the attention in my personal experience, my first computer that I bought in 1990 was 512 kilobytes of RAM. The current computer has 32 gigabytes. So I'm talking about in 30 years, I have multiplied the capacity of my computer in terms of RAM of 64,000 times. So it's not so much. 1,000 times is a lot, okay, but we need to see that we can do that. Okay, we need to develop the decentralized autonomous organizations in order to regulate everything, because there should be agreements, international agreements based in blockchains, based in smart contracts. But one of the things that I would like to highlight, I'm not going to go further in this point, but I just would like to say, stay tuned in relation to what happened with these, because I would like to see what is going to be the response of the states of the countries in order to do that. Okay, they are willing to lose the power. It's like the blockchain's money. So what are they going to do, the central banks? Okay, or this will solve the division of the internet. Okay, so this is very interesting future to be analyzed here in terms of the centralized organization. This is very deeply related with the Web 3.0. So it's an internet where initially everything connected, they were looking for something disconnected, and they are now looking for something disconnected, but where the information could be in any center, okay, in any device. Okay, so it's a decentralized web, is a permissionless web where nobody can cut the access to no one, and so on. So it's interesting what is going to be happening with the Web 3.0. So pay attention to this, because it's going to be very interesting. We need to develop avatars. It's one of the topics that we are working now. It's very interesting, this research line, because the avatars is the way in which we represent ourselves in the virtual context. So they are going to be all personal identification. So they are going to be the way in which we are going to be represented on the metaverse. We will be able to move from one platform to another, and perhaps we can have several personalities, or like we have several dresses, several jackets, we can have several faces associated to our identity. And we can have, we can see that there is many different kind of avatars. We can find realistics, we can have recreation avatars of different types, clothes similar to celebrities, to cartoons, we can use in order to fantasize. Definitely, like we nowadays change the clothes that we are wearing. Perhaps we can change the avatar that we are wearing for any context, any different situation. Okay, there is a lot of interesting research lines in order to develop these. We need to improve the mobile world, wireless network. Definitely 5G will be necessary, but perhaps going one more step further. The Internet of Things, exactly the same. So we need to develop, we need to have any connection to the different machines in order to replicate this information in what is happening on the internet, what is happening on the metaverse. So we need to develop the digital twins, okay, which is the generalization of this. In terms of immersive technologies, we have to highlight that those technologies are very, very interesting technologies because they can allow us to combine the information of the physical world to the digital world. These kind of technologies allowed us to generate better contact and consumption experiences. The combination of all these technologies allows the consumer to have more dynamic experiences, to be more autonomous, and to increase the perceived value of everything that we can offer to the client. So technologies, immersive technologies, are very, very interesting nowadays. If you are interested in focusing the attention on this, you can have a look about this paper, which, as I said before, has been in the list of the 20 more cited papers, which is made by the University of Florida. It's in between the 20 more cited papers in marketing, okay? Here, what we did is to try to explain the differences existing between the different realities, because there was a confusion of terms. They are frequently used in an adequate way. We took as a reference, the reference in the topic is the continuum established by Milgram and Quisquino. I don't know if the way of saying this name is like this. Okay, these authors, what they say is that where we have the virtual environment, we have the real world, which is one opposite side. So we are watching what is going to be, what we can see when we go to my university, which is in the city center. We have the virtual reality where everything is virtual, nothing is real. Okay, here you can have the concept of augmented reality. The classical example could be Pokemon Go. Here, the virtuality overlaps the reality. Okay, so everything is real except the Pokemon, which has been added to this scenery. Contrary to this, we have the case of augmented virtuality. In the augmented virtuality, what it happens is that we include a virtual scenery, but we include in the virtual scenery, we include the faces of people which are really existing and they are part of the meeting, okay? In this continuums, we suggested the inclusion of the concept pure mixed reality, because the technology has been developed enough, we can develop a new reality in which we can properly merge virtual avatars, virtual things in the real world, as it is the case of this, okay? So we extended this, included the concept of virtual pure mixed reality to this continuum, because now users can mix everything in the real world, and there is a full integration between the digital world and the virtual world. There is a complete interaction between the real world and the everything included in the virtual world. Okay, this is absolutely different to the augmented reality, virtual reality, and even augmented virtuality. Okay, this is something new that quite probably will be the scenery in which the metaverse will be developed. Okay, well, if we focus the attention on this in order to properly understand this, because it's particularly interesting if we differentiate between the real environment, the augmented reality, the pure mix of reality, and the augmented virtuality and the virtual environment, we can say that the main environment in the first case is real. In the augmented reality is real. In the pure mixed reality, the main scenery is real. And the augmented virtuality, the main scenery is virtual, like is it in the case of virtual reality. In addition to this, users can interact with virtual, users can interact with real objects in the real world. In the augmented reality scenarios, we can interact also with real objects, but also with virtual objects. In the pure mixed reality, exactly the same. In the augmented with virtuality, the same. And only in the virtual environment, we only can interact with the virtual objects. In terms of the digital content, we can say that augmented reality is the superimposition of digital context in the real world. The contrary is augmented virtuality. We have the virtual environment and we superimpose the real people which is taking part in the meeting. But the question is like this. So we need to develop and to go one step further in order to develop this pure mixed reality, where reality will be mixed 100% with the virtual environment. Okay, and this will be the case of what we are watching here. Okay, I'm not going to put the video, but what I'm telling you is that all these kind of the technologies, what we can say is that nowadays they are supporting how do we make decisions. They are allowing us to take better decisions. Because using these kind of technologies, we can anticipate the product use with very important realism. Definitely, it's more easy to reduce the cognitive dissonance that we feel when we are trying different activities. We are selecting between different actions. Okay. For example, I think it's very, very clear here. Do you see clearly here, isn't it? All right, okay, so the question is that what I would like to tell you is that this earring is not existing, and definitely the lady is trying the earring and you did not know that it was not existent. Okay, it is giving a lot of information to the lady in relation to if it fit me, how it looks like when I change my perspective and so on. Okay, we published recently this paper, and if you are interested in knowing how augmented reality can reduce this cognitive dissonance, you can have a look to this research also. Okay, definitely we contrasted this, and it was very, very interesting to confirm this. Okay, now going to talk about this. Well, the immersive technologies can improve the customer experience before they buying everything, when we are enjoying the consumption of a product, or even later on. And this is very, very interesting. We can do that also in the metaverse. We also can do it nowadays, okay? And we can develop direct experience, indirect experience associated to this, even empowered experience related with particular experience, okay? In this paper, we developed the human technology interactions, talking about things which are very, very interesting for us, such as the technological embodiment, which is very, very important, the perceptual of presence that we feel, and the interactivity that we have with this protocol. Okay, definitely the embodiment, it is nothing to do to use an external stationary service, a computer, or using a mobile phone in order to do that, than using other kind of more immersive devices like they are this one, or even any kind of lenses that they are being developed nowadays. Okay, I'm not going to put this, but you have to know that there is advances in this case. Okay, talking about the perceptual presence, the question is that when we are involved in virtual reality, we feel that we are in other scenarios, and definitely the embodiment of the technology is something very, very important in order to translate to the customer to other places. Okay, the possibilities of interaction that we have. So still these kind of systems to interact and to move to the virtual world is going to be relatively something that we need to improve. We bought a gloves in order to have a more haptic perceptions of our interactive in this metaverse. Okay. We can classify the technologies, focusing the attention to different dimensions. And if you are interested in this, I just would like to suggest you to submit your paper to this special issue that we are promoting in the International Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management. This special issue is associated with the IRC conference, the Metaverse conference, and the submission of abstract, 1,000 word abstract, is the 31 of March. And the full paper should be submitted in September, at the end of September, to the journal itself. Okay, we can engage tourists with the destination using virtual reality. And this is something that definitely we prove even with services, which services are more heterogeneous, and it's more difficult to take decisions when you are talking about services. And we confirmed that we can preview a destination, we can reduce intangibility, we can empower the customer. I'm not going to put the video that can prove this, which has been developed by Mascono, one of the companies which we are collaborating. Okay, I'm not going to tell you anything about this, but what we confirmed is that we can engage users with these kind of technologies. Okay. We need to improve the sensory richness. Nowadays, the visual and the sound are very well developed. The touch, we need to improve something, but we need to develop the smell and the taste. Because those things are part of the senses, a way in which we are having information from outside. It is very, very interesting if we are able to submit messages which are coherent to the users. Definitely, we need to try to identify the way of giving information in terms of smell, giving information in terms of taste to the user. Okay. In addition to this, other problems that we still have is the lack of consistency between the different environment or platforms and the limitation of the current technology of virtual and augmented reality. There is still important limitations that we need to overcome in order to properly develop the metaverse. Because definitely, if we combine the information coming visual and some information coming with these glasses, these immersive technologies, if we combine this information with other kind of information, such as how the destination smells, so the aroma, the congruence of information that we send by different senses, it will be very, very important for the consumer. Definitely, we prove in this advanced paper. I'm not going to talk about what we did, but you can have a look at the paper. So we were relating the flavor of being in Venezia with the smell to coffee, and the flower and the smell of being in Ireland with just cut grass. These kind of smells increased the feeling of people, increased the influence of the technological embodiment and the sensory stimulation. It allows us to imagine more, definitely improves the destination image. So we found very, very interesting results, and the people were more interested going to visit this destination. Okay, and finally, also we need to improve the artificial intelligence associated with all these technologies. Nowadays, service robots are becoming present in every service. We are interested in studying the attitudes, the perception, the intention, and the behavior when we interact with those service robots. We have been pushing widely on these. We have definitely confirmed that it is something important. Robots are going to be part of the daily life in not so long, and we need to develop those robots, focusing the attention in three main questions. The questions related to the robot design, the question related to the customer future. So who is the customer? Which are the characteristics of the customer which is going to receive the service of this robot? Finally, the service encounter characteristics. So what kind of service, in which context we are going to offer this service? And so what do we need to analyze this? And this paper has been highly cited because they were addressing a very, very interesting topic. Okay. Recently, we have been focusing the attention in the virtual assistant. So let me tell you that there will be thousands of hundreds of virtual assistants in the metaverse, and we need to know how do we react in relation to the virtual assistants, the smart speaker, the voice assistants. Definitely, there is a lot of things to be analyzed here. Okay. Definitely, I need to deserve a couple of minutes to talk about one of the virtual assistant or chatbots which has been catching our attention recently, which is the ChatGPT. Okay, I just would like to say that, well, this tool is amazing, but just to be, you have to be careful. While somebody is having fear in relation to what is going to be happening with ChatGPT. If our students start to do all the works that they are doing, the activities asking just to ChatGPT, so it's going to be quite difficult for us to distinguish if they have done the analysis by themselves or they have done with the support of ChatGPT. Let me tell you that if you ask to ChatGPT, it's very easy by the time. I have identified a bug in ChatGPT that I would like to share with you. So, but don't tell anyone, don't tell your students, okay? Because it's a way to identify that they are not doing things properly. So if you ask ChatGPT, please explain when user is in flow state and use bibliographic references, you can have an amazing answer giving you a lot of information, a lot of explanations about this, and this is amazing. So I'm going to finish my doctoral dissertation in 15 days. Just having all this information, because this system is also offering me the information in relation to the bibliographic references in order to explain everything. But if you go to Google and you check the impact of goal distractors on the idea generation, Google say that it doesn't exist, this reference. Well, perhaps you know that ChatGPT has been associated with Microsoft, and there is a fear between Google and Microsoft, but this is not the case. Because if you go to the journal, this Journal of Creativity Research exists. There exists the volume 14 in 2002 and issue 1, but the question is that in this issue, in this journal, they were publishing a different paper, okay? This was the publication of this journal. Definitely, you can check this. The journal is existent. You can check this QR code in order to confirm that. I don't know why, but ChatGPT is giving us a reference that it doesn't exist. Okay, you can say, well, I don't know. You can say generalities, but how are you giving me information which is completely false? Okay, so you can have a look to your students' work, and you can have very, very interesting way to identify who has been using this, not paying attention. If you're interested in artificial intelligence, I also would like to promote the second special issue, The Future of Work of Service Employee Robotic Collaborations, in the Journal of Service Management, which is one of the main journals of services. The deadline is associated to IRC as well. You have to submit the 1,000 word to IRC. You have to submit the full paper directly to the journal in September. Okay, the flow, I just would like to say, so it's going very fast, the time. The flow, I just would like to say that it is the state, the extreme state in which we are feeling a pleasant experience, and we are feeling the absolute concentration, enjoying our experiences, and it's going to be something that we need to study in the context of the metaverse. And everything has been changed since online interaction. The metaverse is going to be one step further in this direction. Okay, we published this paper, which is very, very interesting. So it has been published in 2022, but definitely will be highly cited and has been done with the leadership of Professor Yogesh Dwivedi, and not doubt that there's going to be a lot of citations. We develop an agenda for future research that you also can find in the QR code. Just in order to finish, I just would like to talk about some applications to different industries in which we are involved. One of them is El Pilar 3D. El Pilar, it's any kind of festivity that we have in Zaragoza. It's any kind, every 12th of October, we are making an offering of flowers to the Virgin. It's any kind of parade where the people is wearing traditional wearings or costumes, and taking pictures and giving flowers to the Virgin. And definitely in 2020, it was absolutely impossible to do that. It's the time where Imascono developed the virtual offering. It was any kind of metaverse developed in order to give, to make the tradition, to still make the offering of flowers to the pillar, to the Virgin of El Pilar that we have here in Zaragoza. The activity continues after COVID because many people cannot come physically to Zaragoza because they are living in different countries or different cities, and they have not a possibility of visiting us. And also another example of applications of Metaverse that they are very interesting is the applications in conferences, because we are developing a conference in the Metaverse. So definitely, in my view, conferences are going to be transformed in the following year. So with the Metaverse, we can develop more accessible, more engaging, and more interactive conferences. And accessibility is nobody can say, I cannot participate in this conference, I cannot join for many hours to the conference. So I don't need to travel for several days to change my uses because I need to go to other part in the world, the hours is different and something like that. Okay, there's a lot of cost saving, so I cannot book, I have not to book a room to pay for the flight. The registration is more cheaper because there are no lunch coffees. Well, we need to develop the Metaverse. There is a small price, but also it could offer very interesting opportunities such as more immersive presentations, original networking. I have a lot of pictures with many people in the Metaverse with my avatar and the avatar that we have been sharing, and definitely you can find different ways to engage. Okay, so I would like to have time in order to present this video of the company who is providing us the Metaverse in which we are collaborating. If you're interested in organize any activity in the Metaverse, you can find the address of this company in the QR code as well. Finally, I just would like to say that please take part in the next online Metaverse conference of IRC. Because it allows new interaction possibility. This is a conference that I'm not submitting emails every week to all the people. Please remember the conference. I submit 1 or 2 emails to specific people. I think that the people watching this video, I think, will be particularly interested. So I just would like to offer you this possibility because it's definitely going to be a very interactive conference in which we insist in the need that the presentations will be very short in order to give time to the long discussion. The questions are being asked directly by the speaker to the people who like to interact directly. Okay. We definitely try to bid for having very constructive feedback because we need that authors who participate in this conference can properly develop their papers in order to go to the different special issues that we are associating to the conferences. We also offer best papers for extended abstracts, working paper, and full papers in categories of doctoral students or not doctoral students. We also, in order to motivate participation, offer the best participant award for people who is more constructive, the best Metaverse participant. The main goal is a mutual interaction. We have tried not to be an overcommon many people, thousands of people in the conference. No, we are not interested in this. We are just interested in having people who are really interested in these topics and these conferences. And we also have plenary sessions on panels with very relevant authors, okay? The topics being addressed, it's the topic that we have been highlighting here. So please that you note that you can submit extended abstract, working papers, full papers. The submission deadline is 31 of March. There is a small cost of €195, but there is a scholarship available for doctoral students. And the celebration dates are in May, in the middle of May. So will be in the Metaverse of IRC. Definitely are very interesting opportunities of publications associated. So please consider submitting your paper if you are publishing in the topic. If you are researching the topic, please go ahead. So we try to be a very constructive conference. Finally, I just would like to say I'm absolutely delighted to take part in this, and I will be very happy if you finally decide to be in touch with us, visiting us, taking part of the conference. And thank you very much for giving me this excellent opportunity to interact with this amazing community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Carlos, for such an informative session and giving insight to technology of future. It was an interesting depiction of technologies like AR, VR, and challenges, right, that are associated with these technologies, because there will be the technologies from which the metaverse will be developed. So I'm used to see the application of metaverse in different industries. So now I'd like to invite Dr. Anabel to take a few questions from the audience. Professor Anabel.
Thank you, Vinod. Professor Carlos, it was a fascinating presentation, and some of the questions you have already covered them, but I found intriguing this one. We have Jane asking, why do we need to develop these technologies further and then find how to use it? I can see the benefits. Have you considered the negatives, the implications on society, human, and the future?
Yeah, absolutely. We analyze the positive points and negative points, and also there will be a lot of issues concerning, for example, the privacy or the managing of the data. There will be a lot of important things. In any case, when we develop these kind of new technologies, we try to highlight mainly the positive aspects, how our life will be changing, because if the negative points are overcoming the positive points, the technology will not be developed. In any case, so we need to focus the attention in relation to this. I am very concerned in relation to until what extent the states, the countries are going to be interested in losing the power in favor of international decentralized organizations. So on, there is a lot of questions to be analyzed there. And the technology I think will be developed by the people who understand technology. I'm not developing technology, I'm just collaborating with our research group, with other companies which are developing technologies, and we highlight what is interesting in this case.
Yes, absolutely. There is a lot of challenges there about how to make a good use of the metaverse in the future. And there is another question here in terms of the...
Can I add something?
I'm sorry, Yogesh, yes, of course.
I think this is very important. The negative aspects here are so many. And currently my colleague, Dr. Laurie Hughes, and myself, in fact, have submitted a paper in conference, as well as prepared a journal article on negative consequences of metaverse. And it encompasses so many things, ranging from cyberbullying, harm, sexual abuse, privacy and security issues, mental well-being. So many different issues are related to metaverse, and it's kind of something that we have not experienced yet. Nothing is there, so everything is more hypothetical, and we are kind of extrapolating the precursors based on precursors like Second Life, like something like gaming platform like Roblox and all. We are just kind of extrapolating based on that. But it is very, very important, if we want to save this technology, then the negative aspects should be looked from now than the later, because it has to be safe. First thing. Second thing is it need to be a technology that would not adversely affect our mental and physical well-being, which I think would be if people actually start using without proper guidance. So those things are there, and we are working on it as well. And I think more and more people need to give attention to these issues, negative aspects. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Yogesh. And absolutely, we have many questions, but I'm very conscious of the time. So, Yogesh, do you want me to take it through some few more questions, or we send those questions to Professor Carlos Flavian to answer later?
I think we can answer one or two more, and then we the remaining can be sent to Carlos for his response later on. I mean, Carlos, if you would be able to share some of the responses, what we will do, we will share those with video, you know, in the comment section. That will be fantastic.
Okay. So I have classes now. I will try to leave open the session because I need to go because I start in classes at 15 hours.
That's fine. Then we have to end here. But I'm more than happy. Me and Laurie is here. We can actually discuss some of those questions if Carlos is not able to stay. That's absolutely fine.
No. I can stay for some minutes, okay? But after this, I will need to give classes during 2 hours because I have classes now. Okay, but I can stay for some minutes, no problem at all.
Maybe one last question, Anabel.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So one of the questions here is about why is the metaverse not yet here? What is missing? And I think you have covered a lot of those issues about what are the problems to be solved, but what will be the key aspects that you will answer to this?
Well, as a marketing professor, I used to say that we need to be simple and specific. We have to say that technology is still not ready, okay? Yeah. So I have been highlighting many things. So I think the metaverse is an objective, common, some imaginary idea that has been highlighted as a result of the interest of the companies, but there is still a long way to go. But definitely the possibilities will be offering, it will be extraordinary. We need to take in account all the negative aspects, as it has been highlighted by Professor Yogesh Dwivedi. Definitely the paradox. There's a very, very interesting published by Professor Yogesh Dwivedi talking about the paradox of the privacy and the personalization of information. So it will be one of the problems. So there is a lot of things that still to need. I have tried to develop not just the positive things. If you pay attention, I have been highlighting something that we need to develop and what is going to be need to develop. And just would like to invite to the people to join this conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Professor Carlos Flavian. And we will make sure that you get all the other questions and we can answer them later. Good luck with your team.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Anabel. A quick remark, sir. Dr. Yogesh, any quick remarks?
No, just want to say, I know Carlos is in a hurry. Thank you so much for providing such an, broad spectrum of the, not only RVR and Metaverse, but also a bit of the, virtual assistant and ChatGPT. Thank you so much. I'm sure that people have got some insights from this session, and this conversation will continue, and many of audience may actually put paper in your conference, ERAS SI.
Excellent.
So we're looking forward to this interaction going further in that conference. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carlos.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
The details of the website has already been shared on the chat. Professor Laurie, would you like to speak one or two lines? Or?
It's okay. I appreciate that Carlos is extremely busy, but just to pass on our thanks. That was very insightful, and I'm sure for all our attendees, they learned something valuable. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll let Carlos go, and if we want to, Anabel, you want to give remark or want to take one or two questions, we are happy to do that. Carlos, you may leave if you are in hurry.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Yogesh. Yes, I think this was a fascinating way of covering all the possibilities to enhance consumer experience. It was interesting to see the human-technology interaction explanation that Carlos gave us about the embodiment, presence, and interactivity, because those are key elements that needs to be improved and actually to be integrated with new technologies that allow us to have not only visual, sound, and touch experience, but how do we incorporate other aspects that will increase this presence? And echoing with the demand for actually be very careful about how we advance and why we advance on these technologies, to consider the social and human impact. And I think we have another seminar in the future when we are going to be discussing a lot about this. So it is fascinating that everybody in participating in the seminars are getting this knowledge to start creating even more questions than answers that we have at the moment. So thank you very much, Yogesh.
Thank you.
So with that, we'll just
Vinod,
want to invite the participants to the next seminar.
Right.
Vinod,
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much to Professor Carlos, and thank you to all our hosts. So bringing in Professor Carlos for such an insightful session. So many thanks to Professor Yogesh Dwivedi, Dr. Laurie Hughes, and Professor Raman for conceiving the idea of the seminar series, and also for creating such a wonderful platform to discuss such a contemporary theme, emerging perspective on the metaverse. So we can see the commitment today, that how curious our hosts are to answer the question, to take the questions. I really appreciate that. I once again like to thank the guests who have joined us from all around the globe today. Last but not the least, I'd like to thank Mr. Rajesh Dwivedi and his team for IT support. Before we leave, I have an important announcement to make for the next seminar, which is scheduled on 15th March 2023, exactly after a month from today, where Professor Andres Gustafsson and Gerard Ofilati from Norwegian Business School will join us from Norway to elaborate on very interesting topic, which was mentioned in the first question also today: Metaverse on human aspects, privacy, and value destruction. So looking forward to see you all in the next seminar. Thank you once again, everyone. Have a great time ahead.